Well, I must profess that I don't know a whole lot about roller derby, but we have been fortunate enough to have some of the Cajun roller girls in the last few weeks to talk a little bit about roller derby, and it's really catching on the Gulf Coast. And we have a team right here in the Houma Thibodeau area, again, the Cajun roller girls, and we got a flyer in from them. The Cajun roller girls are recruiting. We're looking for new skaters, referees, and volunteers to join the exciting world of roller derby. Roller derby, excuse me. The roller girls will be holding a big boot camp. Now, they had a meeting this morning over at the Courtyard Marriott here in Houma to kind of talk about exactly what goes on. So if you want more information, you actually have to call a number I'll get you in a little while. That way you can get a pen ready to write this down. But what happens at this boot camp, they are going to work with young ladies. Now, you should be 21 years of age to do this, on what roller derby is about. If you've always enjoyed roller skating, this may be the thing for you. The boot camp dates are Tuesdays, July 19th and 26th, Thursdays, the 21st and 28th, so that's 4 days so far, and Saturdays, the 23rd and 30th. So that's a grand total of 6 days of boot camp, where I'm sure they have a lot of fun. When they say boot camp, it's boot camp to get ready for what they do. And they do not exclude men who would like to go out and referee and have a good time with them. As a matter of fact, after all of these roller derby bouts, as I have come to call them now, because I was told they are not games or matches, they are called bouts. All of the ladies and the referees, they all go over and they have a party after at different bars around the venue that they actually have the bout at. If you're interested more in being a Cajun roller girl, you can call Olive Torture. I'm going to assume that's her name for roller derby, at 985-860-6526. One more time, 985-860-6526. And they do have a website. Their website is www.rollergirls.com. And you can go find out more about it if you are interested in this. And all I can tell you from my viewpoint is, if you don't know a lot about roller derby, there is a movie called Whip It, and it's not a bad little movie, and it actually tells you a lot about the sport of roller derby. So there you go. We do have their schedule, as a matter of fact, for the rest of the year. Now, they are playing, but they certainly are recruiting as they go. This just recently, which was right before the 4th of July, they took on the Hattiesburg Hooligans. That was in Thibodeau. All of their home matches are at the Harang Auditorium. But coming up on August 7th, they will take on the Gulf Coast Roller Girls. That is a team out of Gulfport and Biloxi. Then on August 20th, they will take on the Crescent Winches, the Winches out of New Orleans. On the 2nd, they take on the Pearl River Swamp in a home and away type thing. Actually, first game would be away, second game would be home here in Thibodeau. Then on October 9th, they take on the Winches again. And finally, they wrap it up on November 12th against the Bayou Outlaws. That is going to be here in Thibodeau. The Bayou Outlaws are from Orange, Texas. So all the way from Orange, Texas, through to the Panhandle of Florida, there are teams that participate. They have been playing bouts already. As a matter of fact, there were some before July 2nd that we actually don't have listed here, but they're done. So we're just worried about the ones that are coming up. Again, you can go to www.rollergirls.com and find out more information on that, roller derby. Speaking of sports we don't talk a whole lot about, MMA fighting, we did have Justin Verdun. Justin Verdun promotes In Your Face Productions, and they had a big bout this past Saturday night. A card that was supposed to have 9 fights, but it ended up being only 6 fights as some fighters backed out at the last time. But Justin, who actually promoted this event, was also fighting, and Justin has never been beaten in mixed martial arts until this Saturday night. A young man named Derek the Demon Bacon came in, and he was the out-of-town guy, and in 27 seconds, he got to Justin. As a matter of fact, I understand Justin got caught with his hands down, and this young man, the Demon, took over, and he won it from there. And he is 1-0 on his professional level, as this is his first fight this year. Other winners on the card are Demetrium McGee defeated Peyton Pressgrove. That was a judge's decision. Now, both of those young men not from the area, but a fellow from right here in the area, from Berg, Louisiana, actually. Eddie Richard defeated Adani Hernandez in a technical knockout. Also, Jovi Guidry, a local young man, defeated Rocky Landry in a submission bout. Unfortunately, and we had this young man on, Kip Butcher, a very nice, polite young man, came on with Justin just a few weeks ago. He lost in a judge's decision. The fight went the entire way, but Billy Fredericks came in from out of town, Baton Rouge, if I'm not mistaken, and he defeated Kip Butcher. And finally, Lance Fussell, who is also from the area, from Terrebonne Parish, he defeated Jake Faulkner in a submission match. I understand everything went extremely well. Unfortunately for Justin, not so good. And the main fight was supposed to be Lanny Dardar, but the young man who was supposed to fight Lanny didn't make it to the match. So Lanny, I understand, is going to be fighting in the Hilario Center later in August in a big bout. We'll get you more about that whenever we find out the details. And finally, just to wrap things up, as we don't have very much time left, would like to announce that we actually have the docket together for Friday night sports for football season. And it all starts off on August 5th with commitments from all the area coaches that they're going to come out and help out with Friday night sports. That's going to be a lot of fun. On August 5th, it'll start off with Mike Detillier coming in. And, of course, Mike knows his stuff about professional, collegiate, and high school sports. So we're going to do a preview show. Then following week, Jason Tomplay is going to talk a little bit about fantasy football. The following week, August 19th, is going to be our big preview show for high school football. And then it gets started the following week, which would be August 26th, with the jamborees. So jamborees for football, for high school football, not that far away, a little bit over a month away. And we are going to go right down the line, and each week we will have representatives from a different high school who will be invited in. It'll start off with Homer Christian on the Jamboree week, and then we'll go to Terrebonne High, H.L. Bourgeois, E.D. White, Central Lafourche, Ellender, Assumption, Thibodaux, South Lafourche, South Terrebonne, Vanderbilt, and Covenant Christian, and we'll wrap it all up again with Mike Detillier. Can't promise that all of these coaches are going to come in, but we can promise that they will all be invited to come in to represent themselves on Friday Night Sports. That's it for us on Bayou Time Sports. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you are too. Take care, everybody.